Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly rundown for this week of January 21st, 2019. My name is Sonia Marie, and my website is I don't know what I was just getting ready to say. Word Life Astrology. That's word like word up. wordlifeastrology.com. That's wordlifeastrology.com. I write for Essence Magazine. It's been a pretty cool gig for the last couple of years. I encourage you to go in the back of the magazine every month and check out the horoscope rundown via Essence Mag. It's pretty cool. Sometimes challenging, but really, really fun most of the time. Getting out what I feel in my heart in like 6 sentences. Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day to all of you. Whatever you may be doing, resting in your bed, out at the parade, or I don't know how you're hearing me at the parades, but out in the street, doing whatever you do, I wish for the best for you and your heart, for your family and those that you love, for your friends as well, so that we can stand together in solidarity. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sandrine. This is one of my many grandmother's scarves that I took from her, or I should say, it's a long story. Open-heartedly accepted from her when I went home to New York. I love scarves. I absolutely love scarves, and I'm glad to kind of ride back in this wave of it. Thank you to my grandmother. Happy MLK Day to everybody who was giving me that greeting at this moment. Hello, Faith. Hi, Allison. Blessings to you, sweetie. I appreciate y'all rolling on in here. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. As I go into the weekly rundown, I have a lot to say. I'm kind of charged. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I was very, very vague this week because I felt like that minute could have went on for 5 hours. So I kept it nice and simple, and I kept most of it for you. Are y'all ready? So my day starts off in an all-white yoga class. I want y'all to roll with me, okay? My day starts off in an all-white yoga class. And I loved my class. I love the instructor. I've been going to her for the last 3-4 years. I just want to set the scene for you, okay? We finish. It's a great class, as usual. And as we're leaving, when she says namaste, she says, have a great day off. Now, to me, instantly, being the only black woman, the only person of color in the room, something hit me in my heart because, okay, you are inviting us to have a wonderful day, but are you acknowledging why we have this day off? Are you acknowledging why the only black patron in your class is here and how she got here? Are you acknowledging... Again, I have a lot of emotions. At first, I was like, okay, that kind of threw me off. And then, I'm not really, if anybody knows anything about astrology, I have Mercury in Cancer. So sometimes my brain moves really, really slow and emotional, and I have a hard time getting to the punchline. Boom. So I was processing this for the 30 seconds of me walking out the room. And I didn't say anything. Then I got upset with myself because when she said had a great day off, I'm thinking maybe I should have just yelled out, "Happy Martin Luther King Day to you, lady," and been that other Sonia Marie. However, I kept my mouth shut and I got a little upset with myself, and then I heard Spirit talk. Well, use this as a moment to teach yourself and to teach those that are listening. So. This woman tapped me on the back and she said, have a great day, Sonia. I said, yes, you have a great Martin Luther King Day too. And she looked at me, cocked her head, and kind of smiled like, did something happen? And I said, yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal. I'm over being upset with myself because as I was driving home, I started to realize that everybody is an activist. You cannot be an activist and live in this country. You cannot. And I can't wait to read your comments, but I need to stay focused because I have a lot to say. And I want to get to astrology, and I don't want to make this over 20 minutes. So here's the deal. As I'm driving home, I'm saying everybody, Spirit says, everybody is an activist. You have to decide what type of activist you're going to be. And although I do know what type of activist I am, it became extremely clear in that moment. There are people who really love to be on the front line. There are people who love to be out there with literal and figurative bulletproof vests, catching all the bullets. And then there are people who are on a spiritual front. And then there are those patient, compassionate kinds of people who like to bring, like Dr. Martin Luther King, that like to bring everybody together. And although I am one of those people that are hell-bent, heaven-sent on bringing together folks, I'm not in the mood to teach any longer. I'm not in the mood to stand in the middle of an all-white yoga class and present my point. Now, I might rattle some people's feathers today, and that's okay. Leave your comment, and let's kind of have an adult conversation about it. But that's who I decided not to be. I decided not to be the person in the room who was going to educate you and forever remind you of who I am. Forever remind you of the legacy that my African ancestors have lathered the whole freaking country with, continent as well, right? Has lathered this entire space with. What we did. I'm not here to explain that to you any longer. But what I will do is continue to utilize the platform I have, whether it's 1,000 people or prayerfully millions of people, as I decide to move in and out of different mediums and different venues and talking astrology and spirit and whatever else is on my tongue. What I will do is prayerfully talk to the folks, the beautiful women, the beautiful men who have been negated and have been put down with the boot on their neck to remind them of the power that they have. I'm not here to encourage or convince any other race how powerful we are. My activism is here to encourage people of my own kind, people of color, people who have done so much spiritually, economically, physically, governmentally, societal-wise, and pump them up. Why? Because I'm just not that chick. I no longer have compassion, nor do I have patience for standing in the middle of the room to remind you of who I am. You know who I am. That's why you grabbed me from my land. If you didn't know who I was, if you had a question about it, you would not sit there. I got a lot of emotions. You would not have grabbed us from where we were. You know how strong we are. You know how intelligent we are. I'm not convincing you any longer. But I will share astrology. I will share my position on spirituality. I will share who I am from my Yonkers perspective. And you have the opportunity and the choice to turn me off at any time. Why? Because that's who you are. And this is real. This is so from my heart. I could not wait to come on Facebook today. And I'm doing my absolute best to kind of curve my emotions right now. But Spirit said, use that. Use that example and allow it to formulate and teach the way you need to teach, the way I want you to teach in this moment in time. So there you have it. My activism is to uplift. I have a challenge for you. I have a challenge for everybody that's in the sound of my voice. The challenge is this. Look at someone, whether it's a man or a woman of color, sometime this week. Two things. Sometime this week and encourage them. Sometime this week, tell them how nice their blouse is. Tell them how beautiful, thank you, Nemo, your scarf is. Tell them how dope their haircut is. And if you have anything negative, because we do it by habit, because we are a society that likes to bring people down so we can feel that we're up, right? So our ego can get pumped up. That's the real reason why we put our freaking boot on people's necks, so we can feel more powerful, right? Please, this week, challenge yourself to hold those thoughts in your throat. If there's anything negative you want to say about somebody, just smile. Just revert to a smile. But everything that comes out is something positive about a stranger, about your mother, about your sister, about your brother, anybody you come across. Why? Because that's the activism that's going to work. I don't need to continue to remind you of how dope I am. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to lift us all up. Because for some reason, we forget. Do y'all hear that? Yes, yes, y'all. We can do this with love. It's not excluding anyone. It's not excluding anyone who is not of color. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't look into it and kind of go down my throat between my words and make something else out of it. It ain't that. It is the fact that we have to remind ourselves how dope we are. So, like a beautiful foam of light, we freaking excel, we elevate, and go over that nonsense. The more we pay attention to slavery, the more we pay attention to the boot, the more we pay attention to convincing them, we keep ourselves back. This is my message today. Don't pay attention to that any longer. That's not our story any longer. You understand that? It's a part of who we are. I'm not negating that. But we have to grab each other up. Falling into that, did you see? Listen, that new moon, full moon, lunar eclipse last night, that blood moon. I'm sorry, I have to switch. Because if I don't switch like dramatically right now, I will go somewhere else completely. And y'all don't want to see that. But I will talk to the village. I don't know if y'all in the village yet, but I will talk to the village. I think I'm going to go bananas and throw my phone or something. Here's the deal. That freaking lunar eclipse last night, that blood moon was just beautiful. If you didn't go outside, and thank you, Asabi, for texting me saying, Sonia, go outside. My Pisces friend was like, you need to go outside, as I was trying to do other things. And I stopped, and she just magnetized everybody. 0 degrees Leo. Where is that in your chart? Where are you about to be magnetized and turned and changed and put on blast for a spirit, for the light of everything to change you and to activate the people around you? Huh? Where are you gonna land in that 0 degrees Leo eclipse yesterday? Oh my God, it was so beautiful. This week is a very interesting week because it changes in a sense where we kind of get out of our emotional self just for a second, just for a brief moment. Why? Well, the sun is in Aquarius right now. The sun is in Aquarius, and when that happens, we all get a little heady. Right? The sun is in Aquarius. That means there's a lot of rebellion. Hello, as I come on this goddamn broadcast, there's a lot of rebellion, a lot of independence, a lot of aggression, independent aggression to make sure that folks get it. Aquarius energy is, for the lack of a better word, and I love this word for all those who may take offense to it, weird, unusual, and wildly innovative. The first word is what I was talking about, the weird. It's just beautiful in the sense that they don't want to do anything. That energy doesn't want to do anything like the norm. In my opinion, that's what promotes change. When you continue, Hollywood, to put out stories about slavery and black people getting downtrodden, that's not being downtrodden. That's not change. That's not innovation. That's going against all types of Aquarius energy. And also this week, Mercury goes into Aquarius. So not only are we in that space, that light, that sun of Aquarius, we're in our headspace of Aquarius. We're thinking of unusual plans in order to get our rebellion off of our hearts and off of our tongues to not only change society, but to change people's way of thinking. That's what Mercury and Aquarius is about. Help to usher a new way of thinking without confrontation, because Aquarius can't stand confrontation. It's not about arguing. It's about presenting my point. It's not about arguing. It's about understanding I stand here, you stand there. We can talk to one another and go our separate ways when it's all said and done. So can I get a yes, y'all? Can I get I know y'all like talking, but I kind of stopped. Stop looking at y'all for a minute. But it's really interesting how this week falls in line of what's happening today, falls in line of how we should set up this next 2 weeks for us. Why? Because before we move into Pisces energy, right, we need to not only think about this, we need to not only have a plan, but we need to be as as detached and as forthright as possible. Y'all get that? Yes, yes, y'all. That's what that Aquarian energy brings in. Listen, it's going to shift as we go through the week because there's parts of us that are hell-bent, heaven sent, to do what we need to do, right? That rebellious energy. But there's also a stuttering moment. There's stuttering moments throughout the week, and I'm doing my best not to tell you specifically because I think I spoke too much earlier, so I'm trying to cut this, but take my word for it. As the moon quincunxes Mercury and as a whole bunch of other configurations and aspects take place, there's a stuttering moment. That stuttering moment is the mind starting to get flack from the emotions. The mind, in its rebellious spin, is starting getting flack from not only the pain, but the feeling of, ooh, I don't know what we're doing. Is it too radical? Is it putting way too much out in the street? Like, I was taught not to really talk my business. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? And not just what I spoke of today. This is throughout your week. You're going to be encouraged to do things a little bit different. Why not let the slip show? We've been taught never let your slip show. Never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. All of these different incredibly compartmentalized types of thoughts will be thrown to the wind this week. Why? Because it's necessary and it's needed in order for us to move forward, in order for us to push our agenda, not only for the community at hand, Aquarius energy, but for our hearts and souls. Does that make sense? And the moon and the emotions will stutter, will kind of come in and try to question us, if that's true. Now listen, at the end of or if that's necessary, at the end of the week though, forget about it. Mars is hooking up with, not only hooking up with the moon, Mars is hooking up, where's that thing? Is hooking up with Jupiter. Yes, sir. Mars is hooking up with Jupiter. Jupiter is in Sag currently, and Mars is in Aries, right? That's a nice little party. And if you ever think, as you're thinking, as you're in this Aquarius energy, that you can't push forth what it is that you need to do, Mars and Jupiter will push you off the bed. Mars and Jupiter will get you up and going. Why? Because it's fire. It wants to expand, Jupiter. It wants to move forward. It wants to take every detached, rebellious idea that you may have in your heart. Now, rebellious is good. Rebellion is good, right? When it's shaking some stuff up that's really too goddamn normal and too boring. You dig? So it's saying, yes, let's do this. Fire is like, let's go along with it. Here's the side note to that. Make sure you have a partner. Make sure you have somebody that has your back. Make sure it's legal. We don't want nobody going to jail. Make sure it's legal. And make sure you always have integrity for yourself and for your family. That's how we go further. That's how we take this dream that started eons ago. That's how we take this dream that was in Dr. King's heart. That's how we acknowledge and honor our ancestors, our grandparents and great-grandparents. That's how we cross this bridge, in my opinion, in this day. You did? There were times... I'm not going to get into it. You know the history. Here's the thing. If we're going to make any type of change, we have to do it in this moment. We have to do it from our heart. We have to do it with clear intent, with no blame or shame on anybody. No acknowledgement or validation needed from the other. We just move forward and have each other's backs with compliments and smiles. Please, encouragement to no end. I love you, and I'm gonna get off. My website is Word Life Astrology. Again, my name is Sonia Marie, and I hope y'all take away something from today. I really, really do. And please share. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.